I've recently driven this new Honda Civic Sport Touring hatchback and this Chevrolet Cruze diesel hatchback. Both are great examples of how hard automakers are working in various ways to give you more than ever for your affordable car dollar, stepping up connectivity, safety equipment, styling, and overall value, and proving that there's probably never been a better time to buy an affordable car.
Now both of those testers were fully loaded at around 30 grand, and so is this, the all-new Volkswagen Jetta. You're looking at the exact line with the driver assist package. It's not a hatchback, but it is the top dog model. And like the Civic and Cruze I just showed you, it's also 30 grand. And if you're looking for a new car in that price range, this absolutely needs to be on your radar. Simply, in my opinion, this is about as good as it gets at this price today.
First, let's have a look at the styling, and I'm not an enormous fan. I think they had the last generation Jetta's appearance dialed in perfectly, and I think the mug on this one looks a bit too much like that face you make when you walk past that new coworker you haven't officially met yet. It's pure Volkswagen from a glance, but also not as compact and athletic looking as the outgoing model. Maybe that's because it's so big. My goodness, is there ever a lot of room in here? You feel like you can stretch out. The other side of the car seems a mile away, and the rear seats are very roomy even for taller adults. And given the conventional sedan shape and no funny business to the slope of the roof, you get good outward visibility, lots of glass around you, and little compromise to rear seat space. Also, the trunk is just monstrous. A quick look around on board impresses. You get these gorgeous instruments, all digital, flowing into this gorgeous central touch display that's logical and powerful and very responsive. Using many interfaces like this one borders on popcorn kernel skin stuck in your gums annoying, but this one's simple and as straightforward as can be. On graphics and response, the instruments and touchscreen here blow anything at this price point clean out of the water. Far from the only features in here too, with Jetta your 30 grand gets you heated and chilled leather, power everything, automatic everything, including automatic moisture sensing wipers, remote start, Bluetooth, radar cruise, a backup camera, a great big sunroof, and a punchy Beats audio system that will turn your eardrums into gelatinous ooze. There's embossed leather and wood and aluminum and glossy bits, and from a glance it all feels like you're stepping into a pricier car. Some of the interior uses cheap plastics, and a few too many of the consoles and switches haven't been updated in years. But overall, in no uncertain terms, this all reflects the demand of today's shopper and a long-time expectation of VW fans for an interior that feels pricier than it is. Behind that face, which only a mother could love, you get a 1.4-liter turbo 4-cylinder, good for a very modest 147 horsepower. This engine is all about fuel economy. It won't please the performance enthusiast, though it's practically invisible, rarely makes a sound or any detectable vibrations or harshness until really pushed, and it comes with an auto-stop system that's the smoothest I've ever seen. When it shuts the engine off or restarts it to eliminate idling, you normally feel a jolt from mild to alarming through the driveline. Here, you hardly feel anything. The ride is also excellent. It isolates you very nicely from the undesirable sensations coming your way from the road beneath. It's absolutely comfort first. It doesn't ride like the shocks are made of boiled Kleenex or anything, but by accepting that this is not a car for the performance buff, engineers tuned this thing for one of the best highway drives for the money. It floats along, noise levels are kept appreciably low provided you're on smooth pavement, and if you blindfolded me, took me for a drive and told me I was in a 50 grand luxury sedan, I'd probably believe you on the ride and noise levels alone. Even whacking the sort of pothole that makes you bite your own eyeball hardly breaks the Jetta's composure. You get a drive mode selector to alter or customize the way the Jetta feels and responds. I like the sport setting that makes the driveline less lazy and heavies up the steering for a more locked-on highway feel. And the steering, like the powertrain and ride, is buttery smooth and never transmits much of anything back your way. It's as if the other end of the steering wheel is attached to a pail of Cool Whip, and the slower you go, the lighter it gets, making it easy to maneuver in tight quarters.
Today I am using the most overused word in car reviews ever, and that word is smooth. But let me qualify that just a little bit though. Smooth to me means little to none of the sensations that you normally feel, at least a little bit, when you're driving a car. In anything you drive, you touch the steering wheel or the shifter or the door panel lightly and you'll feel a little bit of a buzz. You steer and you can feel a touch of friction from the mechanicals inside of the system, or brake and you feel just a touch of the scraping and abrasion from the pads and rotors work its way back into the car. Or when the auto stop system engages and you feel that jolt from beneath as the engine restarts. But not here. You've got to seriously be looking for any of those sensations to find them, and much of the time with this car, you just don't.
And that's the new Jetta's real deal appeal. What seems like exceptionally careful tuning to what sensations are allowed into the car and which ones aren't make this about the best example yet I've come across of a car that works to make you feel like you're driving something a lot more expensive. And did I mention, gloriously, that you can have this loaded up exec line model with, wait for it, a proper 6-speed manual. Is it perfect? No. Performance is adequate at best. If you're someone who wants to hear and feel what the powertrain of your car is up to, or you want more than the 147 horsepower on offer here, you'll need to go elsewhere. The cabin, though super modern, is let down by some of those dated controls and consoles, and the brakes, though powerful enough, feel a bit sludgy. I like some more initial bite at the pedal than this has, and most competitors offer it. Finally, though it's usually quiet, rougher pavement at highway speeds can rapidly spike interior noise levels. But ultimately, if your primary concern is a lot of room, incredible comfort, very, very good fuel mileage, and more add-on content than a Billy Mays infomercial, for your 30 grand, I'm saying this, right now, needs to be at or near the top of your test drive hit list. Thanks for watching.